They have a 26-point lead over St. Thomas Aquinas.
Do it for Coach Thomas's.
They have, and a lot of help and a lot of thanks have to go out to Shayla Sanders, but also Callie Davis-White, but an overall great effort by the team. Sanders and Davis-White with their 1-2 finish in the girls 200-meter really clinched it for Boyd Anderson, but still one more event to go, the girls 4x400. And looks like St. Thomas Aquinas will finish second with 48. The battle's for third as we start the boys 3,200-meter run.
Well, the class leader in this race, Andres Arroyo, also the fastest in the state, gone 9:10:37 at the FSU relays. Chris Godwin in this race, he's gone 9:21.19, also at the FSU relays.
He's out of Buchholz.
And this is to be expected. Taking it out really fast like he normally does.
Currently out to the lead. Nick Diaz.
And actually Manny Garcia.
Pardon me.
Manny Garcia, you know, this is his style. He likes to take it out hard. Everybody else is going to have to try and come back on him.
Oh, pardon me. Here we go.
So Manny threw in 61, right around 8:04 pace for the 3,200. They will all settle down, and this race will kind of even out here over the next 7 laps.
A big pack back there after the front two. Garcia extending that lead a bit. But a long way to go. He's out of Columbus High School.
Well, his best time this year, 9:35.19 at the Region 4 meet. So building up a substantial lead.
Is it too early, though? That's the question.
Well, this is his style, and it's worked for him in the past. We kind of thought that that's what he would do coming into this final. Question is, at what point does the rest of the pack decide to maybe work together and try and come back on Manny Garcia out of Columbus? Manny taking it out in 61, and he will come across in 2:13. So still a pretty decent pace for Manny Garcia as he throws down a 72-second lap. Now we're going to start to see the rest of the pack slowly, I think, start to eat away at this lead.
Second place from HB Plant with a time of 11:07, Julia Rodriguez. Your 2012 FHSAA Class 4A state champion with a time of 10:57.
And there's the pack, as you can see.
Well, Manny Garcia was able to use this tactic at the regional meet and win the region. He comes in, you know, you also want to know what kind of 1,600 meter speed he's got. Well, he's gone 4:35.65 and 9:35 for the 3,200 and right around 15:41 in the 5K.
And Garcia still with a big lead, but everyone else behind him in the pack. Garcia's regional time, he came in with a 9:35.19. Not far behind Kristenberry's time.
Well, he'll bring him through 3:26 for the lead. A 73-second lap for Manny. And now we're starting to see Chris Godwin, Footlocker finalist senior, out of Buchholz, going off to FSU next year. And right behind him, Andres Arroyo out of Colonial. These guys are starting to shorten up that distance. That gap is now not half of what it was earlier on. Manny Garcia still continues to lead. Here comes Chris Godwin and Arroyo. So that's a lot of pressure behind you, knowing that you've taken it out in 61 for your first 400. And in fourth place, out of Riverview, that's Michael Babinak. So those are your top four: Garcia, Godwin, Arroyo, and Babinak. We'll get a good 1,600-meter split. It's going to be fairly solid at the 1,600. You know, I mentioned earlier Manny Garcia, just about his PR for the 1,600 as he brings him through 4:41. So slowing down to a 75-second lap on that time around. And right behind him, Chris Godwin, Andres Arroyo, and Babinak in fourth. Well, we got a chance to see the battle between Godwin and Arroyo play out last week. A little bit different this week. When it was all said and done, Andres Arroyo was the winner, but he kind of laid off the early pace and came back with an amazing kick in the last lap just to catch Godwin at the line. So now Arroyo will move past Manny Garcia here shortly with Chris Godwin in trail. It'll be interesting to see if Manny Garcia is able to tuck in now behind these front runners. It's going to be Arroyo and Godwin, or if he's going to keep falling off the back end of this pack as the chase pack will start to slowly catch up to Manny Garcia. Right now, Chris Godwin making a move out to the right-hand side with Arroyo down on the rail. 5:54. So a 74-second lap. This isn't anything that Andres Arroyo can't handle if we get late into this race and he's still around. The secret now for Chris Godwin is knowing that Arroyo has already run the 4x8 where he split 150.9 earlier on, and he ran 4:14 in the 1,600. You don't want to make it come down to a kick. Chris saw what kind of kick Arroyo had last week. He wants to get as much of his lead and make Andres work as hard as he can here over the next couple of laps. And Chris has decent finishing speed. We got a chance to see it at Foot Locker South. He was Florida's fastest qualifier, finished 11th at the South Regional, and ended up going off to Foot Locker Nationals as the alternate. And now Andres Arroyo going to come up and just let Chris Godwin know that he's still there, just off his right-hand shoulder. Still running very, very easy. And Manny Garcia in third, kind of keeping it close right now. That chase pack really hasn't made up a whole lot on Manny Garcia at 7:07, so another 73-second lap. Chris Godwin, Andres Arroyo, followed by Manny Garcia.
They've kind of made a little distance between second and third and fourth, as there's the pack from fourth back to about 12th.
And Danny Fernandez out of Columbus, presently in fifth.
And look at the two again at the front. Godwin and Arroyo are not really leaving each other behind. Garcia still kind of has them in their sights, but he's going to have to start probably making up some ground as the pack behind him starts to get a little closer in third place.
Well, as this race progresses, he's going to get a little bit of a resurgence, I think. And he will know, hey, I can get a chance to maybe grab third place. He only has to tough it out a little bit more if you're Manny Garcia out of Columbus and really start to go into gear, and these guys may not be able to come back on him. So making it look easy, you can just see the expressions. Andres Arroyo, Chris Godwin not working all that hard right now as they come across, we'll call it 8:18, so they throw down a 71. Will we see a change of gears at some point for Andres Arroyo? At what point is he going to go? Manny Garcia with about a 2-second lead over fourth place right now. So down the backstretch they go. Chris Godwin, Andres Arroyo, 250 meters to go. Are we going to see an acceleration like we've seen sometimes over the past couple of years? Chris Godwin is going to make him work. He's accelerating with 250 meters to go. Andres Arroyo running on the outside the last couple of laps. And here he goes. This will bring the crowd to their feet. And he's got a couple of gears that he can turn. There's the first gear. If you took a look at the finish last week, the turnover is just unbelievable. And he will put around 4 seconds on Chris Godwin in the last 180 meters. He goes 9:20, closing in 62 for Andres Arroyo. Chris Godwin, very game, 9:25. And now in third, Tyler Mowry moving up very nicely into third. And Christenberry will finish up in fourth. And is he going to be able to hold on?
Yes, barely. Garcia finishes in fifth place. Maybe he ran himself out too early.
A gutsy way to try and run that race if you're Manny Garcia, but he's going to get on the podium in fifth.
So Arroyo 9:20.52 is your winner out of Colonial High School. So there's some big points there for Colonial. That will help them make up the deficit against St. Thomas Aquinas. Second place going to Chris Godwin of Buchholz High School in Gainesville.